welcome to the 5th episode of Puck Witches, a vibe-based podcast where we yap about all things hockey. Today is October 19th, 2024. I am your host, Champ, and this is my partner in crime, Saint. Saint, how are you doing?
I'm so great.
You sound great.
So ready to yap about hockey.
As always, we have a lot to talk about this episode, but before we get started, we just want to thank everyone and remind everyone that we are not necessarily a journalistic podcast, but we're here to have a good time, not a long time. So let's get going with today's episode. This one, Saint?
Goalies galore, let's fucking go!
We gotta talk about it.
We gotta talk about it. Oh boy, am I gonna be talking a lot this episode.
So, welcome to what a clusterfuck the start of the season has been for our teams, and not even our teams. Yeah, but like
everybody.
It's been a mess right off the bat. What did happen this week?
What happened this week, guys? Everything fucking happened this week. Like. And it's not, I can't, like, there was that one Twitter post that made me irrationally angry where it was like, how much does Bettman like your team? And it was like really good. It was such good rage bait, right? Because everybody thinks their team is slighted against.
Yep.
I know sometimes the Oilers get away with, the thing is that Oilers specifically, they always get the goals called against them, but they get away with a lot of shit on the ice.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, and whereas the Pens, it's like, we always get the goals called against us. There was one instance where they thought it was offsides and everybody was like, it was fucking offsides, fuck the Pens. It was the Sabres one. And I was like, let us have this. We had 2 goals called for goalie interference.
Yeah.
Which is what the entire episode is going to be about.
Yeah.
Probably.
So y'all had goalie interference a little bit. The Oilers had 4 recalled goals.
We had more recalled goals than goals.
Than allowed goals. I was like, what is happening? Can we, like, get something going? And every single time it was like, all right, momentum's going. Let's get going. They would recall the goal. And I was like, we can't get our feet underneath of us. And then there was stuff going on with the obvious slashing of Skinner, our goalie, who got...
Which is what we're going to talk about in terms of, like, what... It's not that goaltender interference is not clear cut, because it actually is pretty fucking clear cut.
That's going to be interesting to hear about, because you did research this episode.
You know how Champ at the beginning was like, we're not a journalistic podcast? Well, I should have been a journalism major. I was either going to be a lawyer or a journalist at some point, and here we are. So I scoured and found the official 2023 to 2024 NHL rulebook, which is like, this is what they use and what they will, when they make the calls in Toronto in the situation room or whatever, and they will be like, here is the rules that we are referring to. So it's called interference of the goaltender, which if you're interested, it is page 154, like when the relevant sections start, and it goes, when you're opening it with Adobe in your Google Chrome, it's like 166. So if you want to read these rules for yourself, I highly, highly recommend it. Just like scouting when you're like, hey, what's this call? So there's different situations will have different results.
Okay.
I'm highlighting the relevant ones because they're either the ones that pop up the most common or the ones that have been like bitched at the most.
Okay.
So situation, the goal, and the condition is the goalkeeper is in the goal crease.
The blue paint.
The blue paint.
Yep.
The blue paint, also called the blue paint. An attacking player is standing in the goal crease when the puck enters the crease and then crosses the line. In no way does he affect the goalkeeper's ability to defend his goal. The result is the goal is allowed. This is a good goal. So this is my big issue. A lot of people were saying, the fucking announcers on multiple games were like, well, he can't be in the blue paint. He can't be in the blue paint. Yes, he fucking can. An attacking player has a right to be in the crease. Like, this is a non-negotiable. The players can be in the crease. They, like, all of them. They can all be in the fucking crease. Like, it's just how it is.
Here's my question.
I have answers.
I hope you do.
I do.
If somebody shoots a puck from blue line, hits the player in the crease, and deflects weird, is that a good goal?
So that does not fall under goaltender interference.
Okay.
But I think it's going to depend on offsides. Because so you're saying it deflects off, because that becomes then a deflection, and it's why we have goalie goals, because a goalie has, like, yes, it's usually an odd man out, but in the empty net goal, the goalie is shooting from the defending side over the blue line. So I think that it's gonna be a matter of whether or not it's offsides or not. Like is there?
So we're in this scenario, we're all on sides. The puck gets shot. The goalie is going to defend it. It gets deflected off of the person in the crease and then bounces in, and the goalie does not stop it. Is that a good goal? Or is that one of those where you're like, goalie interference?
So here's the thing. Goaltender interference has a lot of caveats. Because basically, if an attacking player, specifically an attacking player, makes they call it attacking player in the rules. Basically, if an attacking player makes any contact with the goalkeeper, it's goaltender interference.
Which is always what was so bizarre in the past couple of days, is a lot of the goals that were recalled, it didn't look like it, but obviously camera angles are...
They do have extra camera angles.
Yeah, they have extra camera angles in Toronto. So it was very interesting. The one I'm clearly remembering was the Corey Perry goal that got recalled. He was not near the goalie. And...
So here's the thing. This is where my issue is.
Okay.
There is a battle for the loose puck with the goalkeeper while the goalkeeper is in or out of the goal crease.
Uh-huh.
An attacking player makes incidental contact with the goalkeeper while both of them are attempting to play a loose puck at the time a goal is scored. The goal is allowed. So if you're puck battling, that is not goaltender interference. In or out of the crease.
Okay.
However, an attacking player makes more than incidental contact with the goalkeeper while they are playing. That is a minor or major. And they said, like, it can be supplemental. The goal is disallowed. So, but that's not like, that's like he fucking knocks him over or elbows him or something. So the idea is that they're both battling for the puck.
Yeah.
And therefore they're not interfering with the goalie's ability. It's just that the goalie failed. However, this is where the main scenario, the one that everybody's thinking of, a player pushes, shoves, or fouls another player into the goalkeeper who is in or out of the crease.
And it can be any player, correct?
So specifically, so there's a bunch of scenarios.
Uh-huh.
Scenario A, the attacking player, after having made reasonable effort to avoid contact, makes contact with the goalkeeper at the time a goal is scored. The goal is allowed.
Okay.
An attacking player, through his actions, pushes, shoves, or fouls a defending player into the goalkeeper at the time his goal is scored. The goal is disallowed and a penalty may be called at the discretion of the referees against the attacking player.
Okay.
Which is what
That's the problem. That's the one that...
That's the one that everybody during the Florida Panthers and Boston Bruins series, lost their minds about.
Yeah.
Because in everyone's opinion, we'll continue, but like that is the one that they're like, this is verbatim, but yeah. We'll continue. A goalkeeper initiates contact with an attacking player in the crease to establish position, and the attacking player vacates the position immediately at the time a goal is scored. Even though the attacking player vacates his position immediately, the contact impairs the goaltender's ability to defend his goal. The goal is disallowed. So basically, and this is my big issue, basically any contact with a goalie, unless it's like very obviously slashing from the goalie, that the goalie initiates, is considered interference. Yeah. Which is what, if I recall, Saros was doing in the Pens game back in like March or something like that, where I was like, why the like,
you're right,
like,
he
like
that.
shoved, and they're like goaltender interference. And I was like, what the fuck, he did it. But that's what the rules are saying. The rules are saying the players are technically allowed to be within the crease. They're entitled to that space, but only if they're not touching the goaltender. even if the goaltender initiates contact, the goals are disallowed. Which, in my opinion, is the same thing as when a goalie used to just fucking knock the nets off and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So the other thing is that the key part of goaltender interference is that the contact does not impede the ability to defend the goal or does impede the ability to defend the goal. That's where they get the wishy-washy bullshit of like, could it be interference? Well, if they feel like it, which is what the Corey Perry one was that which is bullshit. They said he had a significant presence in the crease. That is not in the fucking rules.
Yeah.
Like, that is not what the rules are.
Because then you put it against a different team and it's the same exact thing. It's the consistency that we've called about all the time. That was our biggest thing is consistency amongst the referees. And I understand that discretion is one of those big things where you're like, oh, you have to have some discretion for a game this fast-paced.
Yeah, like, so that's my main thing, is that it's not about that the rules are unclear, because they overall are not.
Yeah.
It's that the inconsistency and the wishy-washiness. It actually needs to be more firmly defined. To me, it should be, because I don't like it when you assume intent in any...
Oh, yeah.
Because, and here's the full rule set of just, like, what it is.
Yeah.
Scoring plays involving potential interference on the goalkeeper is either a play that results in a goal call on the ice where the defending team claims that the goal should have been disallowed due to interference on the goalkeeper. So this is like the coach's challenges.
Yeah.
A play that results in no goal call on the ice despite the puck having entered the net, where on-ice officials have determined the attacking team was guilty of interference when the attacking team claims that there was no actual contact of any kind initiated by an attacking player with the goalkeeper, or that the attacking player was pushed or shoved or fouled by a defending player, which caused the attacking player to come in contact with the goalkeeper. So a defender cannot shove an attacker into the goalie. Yeah. But a defender, because then they would just do it all the time.
Yeah.
But an attacker shoving a defender in is goaltender interference, which was the Jeremy Swayman one, where it was like, what? But it says... Or the attacking player's positioning within the goal crease did not impair the goalkeeper's ability to defend his goal and, in fact, had no discernible impact on the play. That's the Corey Perry one. Yeah. Where the situation room, whatever off-ice officials basically were like, his existence impacted the goalie's ability to play the puck, which is kind of bullshit in every way, shape, and form.
Like Zach Hyman, who his favorite spot is in the crease.
Yeah, and it's a legitimate strategy, and I also do understand, like, I understand you can't just fucking post up in the crease, like you can't.
You could,
you know what I mean?
You know, you could. You may have answers for this. Do they have any rules of how long you can be in the crease? Because basketball, I remember you are only allowed to be in the paint for, I believe it's 3 seconds, and if you're in the paint for longer than 3 seconds, I can't remember what happens, but it's a penalty. Or like you have to get out. You can't stay. You just can't sit in the middle of the paint. And I remember, because I was a center in basketball, and that was my spot, was down low in the paint. And in the back of my head, constantly, you have to keep in mind that you can't stay in the spot for longer than so-and-so seconds. And I was wondering if that would be something that might be interesting to be implemented, because it would put more of a pressure on the people, but then you have people who are like, oh, well, you can't count that in a hockey game. Basketball is slower than hockey, I would say.
Yeah.
Because there's more plays that you can run.
Yeah. So the players can't be in the blue paint all the time. You can't just fucking stand in the blue crease.
Which is a shame.
In blue paint.
Which is a shame. Just sit there. Just sit down.
Just fucking, you can't go flirt up on Swayman. Like, you gotta be inside the blue paint. You gotta, men have tried and failed. Yeah. That's why Swayman and other goalies will just be like, shove, get the fuck out. Yeah. It's typically It's determined basically by possession. Yeah. Where the puck is, like whether or not the goaltender has possession of it, if the attacking team has possession of it, has the puck already entered the goal crease? Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's more complicated than I'm willing to get into at this moment in time. The key to me is I don't want them to hyper define it, because the thing about like rules lawyering is that once you get too specific in any rule, it then becomes possible to skirt the rule by technicalities.
Yeah.
So if like you have to have wiggle room, you have to have a judgment zone, but the judgment needs to be consistent, which is not what we have been seeing ever in hockey.
Ever?
But it's truly ever, but it is particularly egregious. I think the other thing is that from what I noticed, not necessarily in the playoffs, because apparently playoff roughing and regular season roughing are completely different, but they've just like brought down the hammer on get the fuck out of the crease, stop touching the goalies. And again, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but we watched and reacted to the NHL ruling video that they posted, and there was nothing in that video about get the fuck out of the blue paint and stop touching the goalies.
Yeah.
Like, you have to communicate that, like, hey, you know, whatever. Because again, they're not allowed to just stand there all the time. It has to do with possession and all of that. But like, in general, that's the other thing, is they're just like, oh, well, you nudged the goalie while the puck had already crossed the line. It's not interference. So they have to take into consideration, when did the contact happen?
Yeah.
And that's the subjective part that is such bullshit, is because a lot of times they're like, well, that totally interfered with the goal. I'm like, the puck was already beneath his legs. Like, what could he have done?
You know, as somebody who bitches about the refs a lot, I cannot imagine being a ref. Like,
oh no,
I would be so mad at anything, any sort of call that didn't go the ref way, which is again an issue that we have with certain refs, is that it's their way or the highway.
Yeah, to me, the ego of certain referees is insanity.
There's no way to make them
accountable.
The accountability is a really big
They
thing.
need to answer media questions. You're
would be
on the
funny.
Like, I'm not talking a full fucking 10-minute interview, but after the game, on some level, you get to fucking pick short straws out of the hand, boys, because one of you needs to go and answer for the calls. Or maybe not even a referee. Maybe because they have officials. It's not just referees.
Linesmen.
Then fucking give it to the officials. Be like, all right, we need to have an official who's gonna go, Corey Perry, the ancient decrepit man, was almost 40. Was in the crease and that impeded. Well, how did that impede? Well, Your Honor. That's what needs to happen.
I would lose it, because then you know that some reporters would ask the most wild questions, and I would be so down for it.
I would too. And there's a lot of hockey media that I really don't like, in terms of like reporters and things like that. But I think the lack of accountability, where there is no, like, they issue the statements, right? They're like, yep, here's why. And like how they were like, there was no, I believe their excuse for the Swayman one, I could be remembering this incorrectly, was that it didn't impede his ability to stop the goal, that the goal had already, and it was like, no, he like absolutely not. That was the other thing. I didn't copy the rules down verbatim, but so Skinner got slashed, Stuart Skinner got slashed on his heel. That's goaltender interference, because, fun fact, any contact against the goalie outside of the crease is considered goaltender interference. The goaltender is fucking off limits. I don't agree with that at all.
No, they should be allowed to fight.
They should absolutely
fight.
Let the goalies fight.
I just want to see Sway fight.
I just want to see. And Marc-Andre Fleury, let him beat up Jordan Binnington. Let him do it. He didn't get his goalie goal. Let him beat up Jordan Binnington. But yeah, so like, again, it's the consistency. And it's like, the clip of like Stuart Skinner where he's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this guy just slashed me and you aren't calling it.
I've never seen Skinner that angry.
Yeah, and he's usually a pretty chill dude. Like, overall, he was mauling.
It was so funny. Speaking of goalies, Tristan Jarry and the mental health of goalies.
Yes. In sports in general.
Yeah, like, in sports in general. But man, you're seeing it like live happen.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people get like stuck on like, oh, he sucks. He's awful. And it's not that like he was ever fucking Carey Price level. but he was a good fucking goalie.
Yeah.
Like, he was. And
it's not the first time a goalie's had to be like, they have like their version of the twisties. Yeah, the yips.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, you can see it in his face that I think everybody, it's one of those things about, like, I get it. Sports are sports.
Yeah.
Basically, whenever a player isn't doing their best, everybody freaks out. Like, everybody's like Erik Karlsson and Tanger.
Connor McDavid.
Rah, rah, rah. They all saw. This game and all games in general, but hockey specifically, is so much psychology. And for a goalie in general, like, there's the reason everybody jokes about, like, goalies are crazy. Because they fucking are. Have you seen what a puck looks like coming at your face? And they do it all the time, every day? Like,
they don't flinch.
They don't fucking flinch. Like, they have to be crazy. I think that first of all, Penguins fans, can we be so for fucking real right now? Nobody is trading for Jarry. Like, get it out of your heads. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we're already
Nobody's trading for him. We're not dumping his contract on anyone. Be so for fucking real.
Yeah.
What should happen, and I'm right, is
okay.
Ned is back from the AHL.
Yeah.
You send Jarry back down where the pressure isn't there, because you see the Pens, like, fumble on home ice all the time. We do not do well on home ice anymore. I don't know why. We've won like one game on home ice.
Neither has the Oilers.
So send him back to the AHL. AHL is not, we send our losers down here. No, that's not what the AHL is. These men are here to play hockey too. They're there to win the Calder. They're there to fuck it. It's a legitimate career.
Yeah, AHL, but it's also a great place for them to develop.
That's what I mean. I think he needs to see a sports psychologist to figure out what is this mental block. Because this man is disassociating on the ice.
Yeah.
Like, my mom said it best. She goes, he looks like he thinks he's still on the bench when he's playing. And I don't, like, she didn't mean it meanly. She was like, I feel bad for him.
It's the lost look in his eyes.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's present.
Jarry, let us take you out to lunch.
Jarry, let's go have a nice
We'll take a spa day. Oh my gosh.
Yes, men need more spa. Hockey men, you need to just have a fucking spa day.
No more ice baths. No more constant practices. You just need a spa day.
Yeah, you need a physical. Isn't that what fucking during the Stanley Cup playoffs when we broke Bobrovsky?
Yeah, they just
Maurice was like, "Go take a day, go hug your daughter," and he did. And he's like, "Love my kid. I'm gonna go win for it." Yeah. Like that's what you do.
Yeah,
go
touch grass, like legitimately.
Literally go touch some fucking grass. It's beautiful out. Go take a walk. I'm sure Pittsburgh is lovely. We're on a road trip, so maybe not now, but wherever you're going, go take a walk. We need to get
breathe.
that kid.
Just need to take a breath.
They need to get. Yeah, they just need to get it.
They just need to sports. Definitely the biggest thing that we're seeing is that the mental health of players is not neglected, but it's not, something as people who are joining the sport for very, new. You look at players and you're going, geez, they're not like last year. And then that's getting to their head too.
Yeah, like, it's immensely psychological. And, like, they've talked about that, like, they have sports psychologists, and they have team psychologists. I think that they shouldn't have to answer to the media about that. But I think that, like, having someone, like, they don't necessarily need coaching on what to do better. They need somebody to help them get through whatever block they've got right now. Send Jarry to the AHL. Let him get some wins under his belt. AHL players are not fucking, like, they're a step below NHL, and some of them are NHL caliber, back and forth. Let him at not lower stakes, because it is, but it's just a step below the NHL. Let him get comfortable again. Let him get out of his own head, get some wins under his belt, and see if this can be salvaged.
It's the
maybe
same thing.
Can't.
It's the same thing with Simone Biles, who came back and kicked ass at this year's Olympics. Yeah,
like, you gotta get them out of. You have to fucking take care of them. Yeah. You can't just be like. I think the mentality that a lot of team and fans of teams have, where they're just like, they're doing bad, fuck them. These guys are an investment. Yes.
You can't just drop them at the drop of a hat.
Oh my god, my car's windshield wipers are broke. Let me throw away the whole fucking car that I spent $50,000 on. Be for real. Like, get new windshield wipers. You need maintenance. These players need maintenance, and it's not just physical. It's psychological and emotional. That was my. You should have called the
I was,
penalty.
you know what?
Penalty rant.
You know what? Speaking of penalties, I'm unfortunately not even. I'm calling a penalty. I'm calling a penalty on you, and I'm gonna challenge you for obstruction.
Obstruction. I
don't even know what it is. I don't even know it. You spin.
You
know what? I'm just like the other refs. It's fine. I'm calling obstruction on you. You have 2 minutes in the box, and this is an early call, Saint. Like early call. You gotta get yourself under control.
How is obstruction not the same as interference?
Did you Google it?
A tripping or obstruction? Obstruction is the same as tripping?
It's a generic call.
It's just this stupid call. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what my penalty. Am I in the?
Get in the box.
I'm in the box.
All right,
the box is occupied.
I'm gonna set the timer for 2 minutes and go.
Game, what was it, 5 that we just played, the Penguins and the Sabres, was the greatest hockey game of the season for me personally, and it's not even fucking close. It was just the best. I know penalties are usually rants, but this is a good rant. How am I supposed to function when Sid Crosby's 500th goal was solely assisted by Evgeny Malkin, and then Evgeny Malkin's 500th goal was solely assisted by Sid Crosby? After Gino Malkin was like, I hope he, is the one that passes it to me when it's my turn. Like, oh my God, only them. There is no one else doing it like them. They are love, and they choose to love each other all the time. Like, it's just one of the coolest friendships in sports history. Only for Pittsburgh, always with Sid. I literally just ordered that sweatshirt because of this fucking game. And the fact that it's Gino's 500th goal game, Sid's 1,600 assists, and then they almost fucking lost. They blew, what was it? Oh, we were winning. We were winning, and then we were in a 2-goal deficit. And I'm watching this game with Shelly, who's a Buffalo Sabres fan, and with 46 fucking seconds, was it 46 or 43 seconds left? And we get the tie goal. And then who wins it in overtime? Sid fucking Crosby. Because there was no way that after he won his 500th goal game, it was Tanger in OT. So they both went to OT. A member of the core 3 was the one to give them the goal. I can't. I can't with their milestones. I just can't. That was the best game ever. It was just so Penguins hockey. Despair, joy, more despair, hope when there probably shouldn't have been hope. Stealing other people's joy the way our joy has been stolen so many times in the past few seasons. And then it was beautiful. Whenever I'm sad about the Pens losing, like they just did to the Canes, I'm gonna watch that game. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch that game.
What a trip. Yeah, that was
I'm never gonna be normal about them.
That was one where you called me frantically and you were screaming so loud that your mic clipped out for a solid 10 seconds. And I was like, good God, somebody's either dead or the world is going everything saved.
I was incomprehensibly crying to Champ about Gino's 500th goal. Then I went dead fucking silent when we blew the lead. And then when we tied the game with 43 or 46 seconds left, fucking flew. I oh my fucking God, lost it. Cause I was like, we have to do this. Yeah. You cannot do this to Gino and make his 500th goal game a loss. And Sid's 1,600 assists. You can't fucking do this to me. And then we tied it. And then Sid, who has not scored all year, getting the game-winning goal, I literally flew out of my chair and started screaming so fucking loud that I'm pretty sure the neighbors thought I was being murdered.
Well, yeah, that sounds about right. All right, well, that's going to be it for your penalty rant.
We do also have to talk a little bit about the goalie goal.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize how rare goalie goals were until this week.
I did. I was like, excuse me?
I was laughing so hard looking at, the Minnesota Wild. What's the kid's name?
I couldn't even fucking tell you. Okay. He's baby. Baby. If I remember, he's baby. Marc-Andre Fleury signed his extension almost not only reason, but one of his deciding factors in signing his 1-year extension was so that he could help mentor the baby goalie. Filip Gustavsson?
Oh yeah, Gustavsson. Yes, that's right.
Gustavsson. Yeah, which is very funny because it was a power play goal.
Shorty.
Here's a shorty.
I
don't think it qualifies.
I was scrolling on Twitter on game night and trying to ignore the fact that my team was getting their ass kicked, and saw the goalie goal and went, "Oh, that's neat. How cool." And then the next morning I woke up to seeing how excited everyone was and going, "Well, it's just a goalie goal." And then I realized how freaking rare it is.
It is like it is historic. Like, that's why we all freaked the fuck out.
That's so funny.
With Linus Ullmark and Tristan Jarry, because like Tristan Jarry was the first goalie goal in Penguins history.
That's
and
awesome.
They're one of the first expansion teams. Like, they were like it is. There's also two kinds of goalie goals, which is very funny to me.
Okay.
The one, which was the original historic ones, were often own goals.
Oh.
And they would give, so they were considered
Yikes.
like they were own goals. Which I don't know why, like, because you don't track that anyways. It's not like Nurse got like credited, or Gino and Letang didn't get credited for when they did their own goals.
Yeah.
But like, I guess they counted them for that reason.
Because
but then the rest of them are almost always empty net goals. Almost always.
That's so funny. And I remember back in the Stanley Cup Finals, we had Skinner got an assist, and I remember being excited about that because it was rarer. Like I knew it was uncommon.
Yeah, it is incredibly uncommon. That's why everyone's been making the jokes
so
about
funny.
who else got an assist this season. Someone else got an assist.
All I'm saying is if Marc-Andre Fleury does not get a goalie goal before the end of...
I want him to get whatever he wants for his last season. That's what I'll just put that out there.
If he doesn't get the goal, you know he's going to be like, I'm going to sign another year. I have to sign another year. Because hasn't he been trying that for forever?
Like, literally. So, very fun fact. I went to a Haunted Hayride with Shelly, who will be a guest on the podcast, and is an avid listener. Shout out, bestie. And we were obviously unable to shut up about hockey for most of the time.
Welcome to our lives. Welcome to our lives.
It's hockey. And one of the things we were talking about was Marc-Andre Fleury. And I said, I feel that as a community, and for what Marc-Andre Fleury has done for like the good vibes of hockey and how much we're all gonna miss his shenanigans, I think one of the teams needs to take the L and let him score the goal. I think they all like the other goal. Like
maybe it's the Penguins. Sorry, Saint.
Maybe it's the Penguins. Like, I need Joel Blomqvist to get out, skate out of the net and do a little salute to Fleury and let him, like, we play the Wild and whenever in December or something like that. Just let him do it.
Just for the vibes. Come on.
All
hockey
of the Penguins, just
this.
let them all, and just be like, hey, maybe it's a game when we're up like 6 goals because I don't trust us not to blow a lead less than that. Even then, I would take the L if it gave Marc-Andre Fleury his goalie goal. But yeah,
that's
someone
true
needs
love. That's true love.
Love is real, and it was invented in Pittsburgh.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Someone needs to fucking Just take the L.
Anything that he wants. Let him do whatever he wants. You know that one video? I know I bring it up every time because it's one of my favorite videos of the goalie skating towards the goal because you can't touch them on the other side, and you can't cross the is it red line in the middle? Goalies can't cross the red line.
Yeah.
That clip. That clip.
That one clip he crosses the red line.
Just let Marc-Andre Fleury do that. Just let him do that. It'll be funny for the good vibes.
That's right. Because it was one of those. It was like rare.
It was Gretzky was playing.
Yeah, but it was rare penalty calls.
Yeah.
It's because goaltenders never cross the red line unless they're in
a fight.
Funny.
I think he should be allowed. Let him do whatever he wants.
Marc-Andre Fleury, you're allowed to do whatever you want. Just for funsies.
Yeah. Anyways, watching the goalies this week has just been fascinating, but also so good. We didn't even get a chance to. I mean, we could mention that Jake Ottinger with the Dallas Stars signed a contract.
Jeremy Swayman, you set the fucking blueprint.
Did.
Everybody, all the haters, they can shut the fuck up because he set the blueprint.
8 years by 8.25.
8.25. He set the new goalie.
Otter deserves it. I think that's a great thing.
Dude, he just kicked our asses. Of course he deserves it.
Well, I don't want to talk about it. At least Dry scored at the very end, but like that's
wasn't a shutout.
That's gonna be minimum. We've talked about it that goalies are really like the game, and it's obvious right now with a bunch of goalies across the league that are struggling. Colorado is struggling, but I don't think that's just their goalie.
Me praying for their downfall. Though the Preds are the only one without a point as of right now.
Sucks to be a Pred.
Rip in pieces.
That's hard. 5 games, 0 points. That's gotta be bad for your mental.
Not even a fucking OT. Yeah, speaking of sports psychology.
Yeah. But anyways, Saint. Do we have an ad read today?
We do. If you want to buy jewelry that will not protect you from Wi-Fi, you can buy from today's sponsor, Saint Astra. Twitch streamer, cosplayer, and artist, you can support me by purchasing from my Etsy or subscribing on twitch.tv/Saint Astra. You can use your free Prime sub and get access to cute little emotes. Saint Astra's Etsy also sells a variety of jewelry, decorations, and trinkets. Everything is handmade and crafted with a perfect balance of love and spite. All proceeds go directly to the Saint Astra Dry Saddle Jersey Fund.
So, Saint, speaking of magical or not magical amulets to protect scientific, amulets to protect yourself, like provided by the Saint Astra Etsy shop. What the fuck is going on in Toronto?
I don't think it's Toronto. I think it's just the state of the world at large.
Okay, what
so
the
for
fuck
those of you
is going on?
So, for those of you who are blessedly uninformed of whatever this all is, John Tavares, former captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, he was found out to be shilling, like, this magical amulet that blocks Wi-Fi signals because that's a thing you need to pay $250 for.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just the one. You can buy y'all, I visited this website. I took
You did not.
that fucking... You know that meme of, like, the soldier who's protecting the kid in the bed from fire arrows or whatever the fuck it is? That's me.
Yeah.
I went to I went to this website and I read it.
You're gonna get so many targeted ads.
I forgot to do it in incognito mode.
No!
Because I was just researching, So, first of all, I don't know if anybody's seen a picture of this amulet. Don't go search it. Don't give Google that information that makes you think that this is a legitimate company, because it isn't. These are what are very obviously mass-produced 2D resin charms.
Okay. I have not seen a picture of the amulets.
Okay. They're like literally like a bezel, like a gold bezel, a flat image. They claim it's 5 layers. It is not. It is very clearly like a printed picture with a resin doming on a like gold bezel.
No, so it's cryptocurrency.
It's this weird, like, this is where it tries to toe the line, right? Like, this to me is like good cult shit. This is from the 1970s,
yeah,
okay? When cults were really cults.
Cults were really cults.
We're in a resurgence. We'll get into that. Remember when we were like, this is not a journalistic podcast? Well,
this episode is more journalistic than we ever meant it to be. But it's so fucking funny that it's funny, but it's so not funny. If that makes any sense.
It's not. It's funny only when you like stop to think, and then you stop to think about it.
When you don't think about it, it's fucking hilarious. Which is why Twitter was alight with the best memes this week. However,
the memes were so funny.
However, what the fuck? Okay, so
their claim, the claim that this is because first of all, the healing amulet thing is specifically a John Tavares quote. Like in his thing, he was like, "It's helped me recover from."
His poor doctor.
Whatever. Yeah, I know, right? Like, fuck you have the best sports medicine in the world at your fingertips, and you've got this fucking, oh my god. Anyways, so the whole point of this magical amulet is that their claim is that EMF, like, electromagnetic frequency, gave phasmophobia.
Oh my god.
Is harmful to your health.
Okay, yeah, because that's something we
can control. We have time to unpack all of this, and I will be doing that.
Okay, go ahead.
Their listed harms to your health
EMF.
Are EMF is that it can cause things like tremors and dizziness, headaches, fertility issues.
Okay, yep.
loss of concentration and anxiety, which I'm gonna get into this, don't you worry. Besides the fact that they think that it's like nuclear radioactivity that causes fertility issues, and they're attributing it to EMF, which it can if it's on the high. We'll get into it. Basically, these very vague and widely attributed symptoms to like every fucking thing ever is what they're claiming to cure. You know, like things that could be caused by stress from having to watch your hockey team lose all the time.
Again and again and again.
And again and again. Who's to say?
From watching your team get your ass kicked against the Boston Bruins every playoff session.
Yep. So
maybe he has a point.
Maybe. Maybe this is all just a plot for them not to get a first-round playoff exit against the Boston Bruins. So they claim the amulet is a 5-layer technology with a silicone resonator chip.
This is the 5G shit all over again.
That literally that negates EMF from your surroundings, but somehow doesn't damage your phone or car or laptop. They do also claim that it protects you from 5G, literally 5G's free radicals, which is a thing I haven't heard in a hot minute, and a term they are absolutely misusing. And then all spectrums of EMF. Kind of makes me feel like I'm listening to a sunscreen commercial, but hey, go off, Kings. Then they claim it's because this is all in one page of the document of like their website, by the way. They make like 5 paragraph little sections, and all of them contradict each other. Because one of the big things was why would they? Because one of their things was that like it doesn't just negate it something I don't fucking remember. But they claim that it's microprocessors, which is interesting because first they said silicone resonator chip, which is basically a resonator is a thing that like vibrates. And they said that it's the microprocessors that modulate EMF radiation from devices and then cancel out EMF emissions.
Okay.
Public service announcement. Words fucking mean things, okay? Nothing you've said means anything in that order or in that context. You went to thesaurus.com like a high schooler trying not to use the same word in an essay too many times. Grow the fuck up. My other favorite part of this is the magical microprocessors don't need charging. They don't need batteries. The chips use the same technology as credit card chips and are self-powered using electromagnetic
I'm laughing
fields.
so hard that I coughed. I'm gonna cough up a lung.
In the surroundings. But electromagnetic fields is one of the things they're trying to stop you from having.
I'm going to hack up a lung.
Oh my god, they are the Life Tune, which is the thing that they launched in 2020, which is this specific kind of thing. Microprocessors and resonator antennas are etched using top-of-the-line microlithography equipment and use a patented gold-coated circuit board.
God.
A monocrystalline silicone wafer chip, a polymer protective layer, and an adhesive strip. Resin. That resin. And then, in the same fucking page, by the way, they say it enhances the body's natural electromagnetic fields, promoting optimal function. They just spent every fucking blurb at the rest of this page telling us that EMF is bad and awful, and that it stops every spectrum of EMF. And then in the same one, they're like, but it enhances your natural EMF.
Listen. Okay, go on.
Oh, I have another page. Guys, I'm not a scientist, okay? Like, let's just...
And also not a journalist, but...
I'm not a journalist, I'm not nobody, but I know enough to know that this is bullshit. Guys, EMF is a spectrum. Like, I'm gonna learn you some shit right here. It's not just what we use to detect ghosts in the video game Phasmophobia, okay? It includes the visible spectrum of light, you know, our fucking vision. Ultraviolet rays, X-rays, gamma rays, microwaves, TV and radio waves, Wi-Fi, and all the way down to lower end frequencies like your computers and your power lines. The Earth itself is a natural source of a magnetic field. It's why compasses fucking exist. Because it has a magnetic field. So, EMF has man-made and natural sources, and there are dangerous parts of the spectrum, and this is where we're going to get into it. X-ray technicians wear protective equipment for a fucking reason, because X-rays fall under the high end of the frequency spectrum.
Yes.
So low frequency EMFs, basically everything from visible light, because we're in like the upper middle, visible light and lower is harmless. It does nothing to you.
Yeah.
above is where you start to get into like ultraviolet, and then X-rays, and then gamma rays. Those are called high frequency EMFs, and they fall under ionizing radiation, which is what causes cancer. That is the shit that can hurt you.
Yeah.
So what this company is doing is taking a legitimate source of concern, which is that overexposure to high frequency EMFs can cause damage to your cells and to your DNA, and then they twist it. Because, like, does anyone remember, or maybe this is just me being old, but, like, people were, like, scared of microwaves because of the radiation, and, like, they would, like, step into another room when they would turn the microwave on.
I don't remember this. You are old.
This was not a thing that my family did, but, like, a thing that, like, I had experienced from other places where people were, like... So, and before that, I do remember this from my grandma, is that people thought it was bad for kids to live near power lines.
I remember that, yeah.
The EMF would affect their development. There was one study that was like, maybe, and it's like, okay, but like causation and correlation are two different things. Just because, like, again, all of the sources from this company, one of them, I will not get into it, but there was a good Twitter thread on it by someone who actually has like credentials, who went in and did the deep dive on like what their sources are. I'm just going into debunking the bullshit.
All I'm saying is that the stuff that you're talking about, John Tavares won't be able to see it. Because he can't go online because his EMF will protect him.
No, but that's what the thing is their whole belief of this magical amulet is that you can continue to use all of it. They want you to stick it on your car. They think you should put it on your phone because they have the amulet one, right, that you wear as a pendant, but then they also are like, you can put this on your home appliances, you can put this on your this, and you can buy it in a 5-pack for $5,000. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just insanity. Just insanity. But the thing is I'm gonna get real here. It's fear. Yeah. In times of extenuating and severe crises, like, say, genocide and war and living in an oligarchy and climate change disasters and a global pandemic that killed millions of people look for control. And this is what happens in, like, the 1960s and 1970s. And we see the, like, massive jump in cults. Yeah. And that is actually a legitimate concern in the 2020s, is that we're really, really worried about Gen Z falling into cults, because when people are enduring this kind of, you know, collective trauma and generalized uncertainty, they look for control. They look for answers to things that they may not understand, or they're going to latch onto things that are not likely to cause them harm because it's something that they can have control over. You, as the average person, have no reason to be concerned about EMF fields unless you're an X-ray technician, in which case you should be wearing your protective clothing. But you give someone something to worry about, and then you fix their problem that they didn't know that they had. So historically, it's been religion or religious adjacent cults, but snake oil salesmen have been a part of, like, Americana for forever. Okay, like the one guy, we watched it on the History Channel, but this one guy, snake oil is a legitimate thing. Yeah. Ancient Chinese medicine. A guy named, was it Clark Stanley? I think.
Oh my god. Okay,
I think it was Clark Stanley. He was selling snake oil, and then the FDA that eventually came out in the early 1920s was like, this is nothing. It has no actual snake oil in it. And that's how the FDA came around, I think.
So funny.
Or whatever. Something to do with, like, how the US federal government regulates our food and things like that, and, like, federal drugs in general. Was that, like, he was selling snake oil that had no snake oil in it. It's not the problem about the snake oil, it's the snake oil salesman, okay? Like, they're picking at a fear that you may or may not have had, ramping it up with fake and deeply flawed science, because then it instills, like, a false sense of reliability and authority, and then it sells you something at a high price, because if it's a genuine product, if you believe that this product is really a silicone microchip and not just a flat 2D printed image that they put on some glossy paper, then you have to believe that it costs time and money and effort to make, and so you're more willing to pay for it, because you're like, of course I'm willing to spend $250 to save my family from radio waves, like, or Wi-Fi, whatever the fuck it is. Because if let's say you think this problem is real, you're not going to go buy a $10 one off of eBay. You're going to go buy the $250.
You're going to go right to the actual source of the thing that's telling you that you can. Yeah.
And so they take these people they're not, either they don't have critical thinking or they're choosing not to use it. They're scared, and then you steal their money, And you feed into their complex of fearing real information and rejecting real information, and then personal growth, because you can't admit you're wrong because you just spent $250 on this piece of shit necklace. And that's how we get cults. This is a sham of a corporation. It was founded in Russia in the 1990s based on radar protection. For real, like post-Cold War Russia, and like I can't even remember the guy's name, Dmitry something. And who's to say what the legitimacy of this was in the 1990s, but they immediately kind of jumped in, and then in 2020 they had their the necklace that he's shilling was part of their 2020 launch, the Life Tune or whatever it was. And then Russell Brand, who is a horrific piece of shit human being, is now rebranding himself as like a religious cult leader, is also shilling this. And then I guess the Canadian Basketball League. And like, yeah, so that's the thing. So like their website, right, has like actual like legitimate shit is falling for this. Like, if you look at, and who's to say how they could be lying, right? They could be just taking a picture of John Tavares and putting a quote where he says, "As a professional athlete, one of my top priorities is staying healthy and recovering quickly when dealing with injuries. After discovering Aries technologies 4 years ago, I have seen tremendous benefits to my recovery and overall health. I am honored to join the team at Aries and excited to share my experiences with the products more broadly." No, this product is talking about magical healing. It's all about 5G, and he's just like, it heals my broken bones.
Is this why Matthews is the captain now? I saw one post that was, again, the memes on Twitter. It's been 2 weeks in the hockey season, and this is already a highlight. The memes on Twitter.
Oh, this is like when we do the hockey wrap up at the end of the year. This is going on it, like top 10.
The one that I saw was like, oh crap, what was it? Oh, somebody saying the reason that the Leafs didn't post walk-in photos for like one of their games on like Tuesday was because they knew people would Photoshop the amulet onto all of the players. And I was just like, the funniest thing is, like, it's fucking hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
If you are not falling victim to it. Because you and I were losing it laughing it so hard because it's fucking ridiculous.
It's just so stupid. Champ, I need you to see that on their official website, because when they put under Aries athletes, it says, like, you know, UFC fighter Michael Chandler, UFC fighter Macy Barber, NFL legend Tiki Barber, NBA player RJ Barrett, NHL John Tavares, and then an official partner of the UFC and WWE.
That makes sense.
And Canada basketball.
I don't know where did Canada basketball get? Is Canada basketball more superstitious than hockey at this point?
What is going on with the WWE and UFC? But
that makes sense to me. Like that's fucking crazy. That one makes sense to me. You look at the UFC and the WWE and you hear magical amulet and you go, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You hear John Tavares magical amulet and you're like, wait, hang on.
There's a saying called having more money than sense.
Yeah.
And this is so real. Like, I think we need to stop stealing hockey prodigies from school at the age of 16. I think they have to get like a GED or something before they're allowed to go to the NHL. Like,
oh my God.
Someone help this man. Like, and that's the part is like, it's only funny to laugh because this man is a millionaire.
Yeah.
For the people that are like living on Social Security or, you know, paycheck to paycheck or are on their retirement funds and are falling victim to this, it's not funny.
Yeah, no. Especially as somebody who works in the career that I do, scammers are everywhere, and this is just another one of them. It's a false product. It's not something that's going to actually get you anywhere. It may give you a modicum of comfort, but if you're looking for it to actually solve your problems, that's not what it's going to do.
Do you think it's real gold or just like fake?
Okay, I'm sending you this. I'm sending you a tweet.
$250 and it's probably like not even gold plated. It turns your neck green.
It's pyrite. It's pyrite. I'm sending you this meme. It is one of my favorites that I saw. The meme is, and when Tavares shows up to game 1, round 1, in the playoffs with the amulet surgically implanted into his forehead like Lil Uzi, then what? And it's a gif of Vision and Thanos from Infinity War. And the quote is, the team that eliminates them from the first round is doing this to him. And it's Thanos removing the Mind Stone from Vision's face.
I need it to be Nikita Zadorov because he's massive.
Yes, please. Zadorov is like, fuck you, what are you doing?
Oh my god. Do you think
these jokes can't stop me because I have a magical amulet?
Do you think that everyone in the league that has a functioning brain cell is going to chirp him about this relentlessly?
I hope so.
Because I would. I'd be like he would I would check him into hard and be like, oh, where's your magic amulet now, buddy?
I'd be like, how come that didn't protect you from my hit? Hockey's fucking ridiculous. Guys, don't get scammed. It's not real.
Here's the thing. If it's selling you a product you didn't know you needed, it's fake.
Yeah.
It's fake.
You say that, yeah, yep, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You say that and
yet. It's either, and yet, and we're magically thought-provoked people.
Yes. We have our rituals, we have our stupidity, but at the same time, it's not like we're committing ritualistic sacrifice to
I'm
win
not selling the can of Dr. Pepper that I drank for $250.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, guys, should I sell magical amulets on my
Please do! Oh my god!
That was actually one of the shout out to everybody who's been supporting me in my Etsy. I've gotten a bunch of orders this month, more than I have for a while. So I don't know if it's just the spooky season or something, but I do sell the Periopt of Wound Closure from D&D, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, I need it!" And I'm like, "Do they think this is real?"
Oh my god! You know who would buy one of those? John Tavares.
Could I send him
a
Periopt of Wound Closure and be like, no, you need this magical amulet if you want more for your friends and family?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Sham, you know how we talk about how in other lives we're things like, storm chasers? In my case, I would have been a domestic terrorist.
Yeah, okay.
Or a con artist.
Joker era.
Yeah, I'm just different cartoon villains.
You are. You really are. Just fucking Christ.
On the spectrum of EMF, Wi-Fi is the bottom middle.
The waves, Saint. You have to protect them from the waves.
Do you think if I was on the enemy team and I saw John Tavares, I would just hold up an iPad and be like, boo? You know that one meme from Patrick and SpongeBob?
Yeah.
When he's like, stop it, you're scaring him.
Yes.
That.
My turn for a story
your turn.
of the day.
This is a surprise, guys. I told Champ about the
amulet,
Tavares thing, but she did not tell me what this is. What's up, Champ?
I'm sharing it with you on our screen share, and it will be in the podcast. It's another one of those things that you're going to have to watch if you want to join. It will be played audio-wise behind the background.
Okay. I am okay. He has a fear of ketchup.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make sure I have my volume on.
Yeah. So Connor McDavid. If you don't know, Connor McDavid has a fear of ketchup. Allegedly.
If I was an NHL player and they asked me weird invasive questions, I would just lie all the time.
You know, as long as he has a fear of ketchup and not of EMF, we're fine.
Which one is more rational? I think
ketchup.
It's
ketchup.
It's ketchup.
All right, so this is a sports reporter asking Connor about his fear of ketchup, which was revealed in the what's it called? The new Amazon show.
NHL Face Off.
Face Off, yeah. I was like, playoffs? No.
No,
and so I have not watched this either.
Mm-hmm.
You have not watched this. We're going to watch this together. You ready?
Yeah, we're going to do we'll do a watch. Maybe we'll do a watch party in the Discord.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Okay.
What's the deal with you being scared of ketchup?
The ketchup thing's a funny thing. My brother and I both just grew up that way. It's more of a phobia. I wish I could tell you more about it. I don't know why it is
He's
that way.
fucking with them.
just something that never got into with my brother and I, and it's kind of stuck as more of a phobia.
What's your go-to cheat meal? I gotta know what you're eating on a day off.
A cheat meal. I got a real sweet tooth. I love candy.
Oh, good for him.
Licorice, that type
Oh,
of
it's
stuff.
the fucking licorice all over again.
That'd definitely be the go-to. Definitely the go-to cheat.
If it's a phobia, I think I share on behalf of the whole NHL. There's about 700 players that would like the same phobia that you have. Because if it's going to amount in 175 points, 200 points a season, I'll take it. So you don't have to eat ketchup. It's all good, Connor. What's the deal with
That is the
That's so funny. You don't have to eat ketchup.
you don't
buddy.
have to eat ketchup, Connor. So that is my thing for the week. Here's a vibe check, Saint.
Vibe check, okay.
Vibe check.
Vibe check.
Here's my vibe check. Saint, you know how I feel about sauces.
I do.
All I'm learning here today is that Connor McDavid is so for real for being terrified of ketchup. If he is legitimately terrified of ketchup.
Here's his extensive use of the word phobia had me for a second concerned he doesn't know what the word phobia
I
means.
wouldn't be surprised.
It's like when, who was that one player? Was it Bedard that they like asked him a question? He's like, I don't know what that word means.
Yes.
Like,
Again,
we have to
get
keep
a
these kids
high
in
school GED. So for people who are listening, Connor has a fear of ketchup. I do not eat sauces.
This is why we're friends, because you
Yes.
give me your cane sauce when we go to Cane's.
And it was funny
Work me.
because he goes, yeah, my brother and I grew up with the same, I think, again, fear of ketchup. Because my brother and I also have the same fear of ketchup. And I think it's just funny because for all of my life, people have gone, you're fucking crazy. Why don't you eat sauce? Food is like what you do to eat more sauce. Like that is what people say. Like that is what people have told me my entire life. So to hear it from, again, 175 points a season, Connor McDavid, also saying he has a fear of sauce, it makes me laugh so hysterically. I just don't like the texture. And I think that's the thing for a lot of people, is it's too wet. This is my penalty. I'm not even being timed. I'll just go on a tangent. I'm gonna get thrown out of the game for this penalty, for this one, for ranting about sauce. But do you think Connor is getting chirped a lot about his fear of ketchup?
Leslie, this man will never know peace. That's why he's not putting up any points. Everyone's mocking him about his phobia of ketchup. They're holding up Heinz bottles to his face before games and he can't get in the zone.
You gotta stop making me laugh. I keep coughing hysterically. I just think Connor is allowed to fear ketchup. Let him do whatever he wants. Because
So,
he's
you know
so
how there's-
fucking for real for hating sauce.
And again, we are so alike in so many ways.
Yes.
And this is one point where we will never agree on. I hate having food without sauce. I can do it.
Disgusting.
But like,
It's wet.
and I like crunch. Don't get me wrong. I need a good crunch and crisp and, but when we go to Cane's, Champ used to order her Cane's without sauce, and now she doesn't, so she can just give me the extra one.
Yep.
And I don't have
true
to ask for
friendship.
extra
That's
sauce
true
all the
friendship.
time. It is. It's like Callie. She loves pickles. I hate pickles. I always give her my pickles.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you know.
What is it that we said? There's another thing that we said about this is that if you have a person, this is a question that I would ask Connor and also Leon, is who eats the pickles in your friendship? And because we have a working theory of if you like pickles, your significant other or your partner does not.
Yes.
I don't like pickles. Austin does. Thank God.
Yep.
You don't like pickles. Callie does. So that's great. And then so that's the true depth of a partnership. That's the question I would ask people. When you duos go in the NHL.
I was gonna say when you go to Korea barbecue and you all eat different sides, that's the good shit.
That's a Stanley Cup final winning team.
Yeah, like Corey eats all the kimchi.
Yeah,
and I'm like, give me the whatever that pumpkin sauce was that I had.
Yeah.
Like,
no, not sauce.
I want
like
like, you know,
Yep.
you gotta have some likes, because like the main course, it was like, all right, let's order the, beef and tofu and this and this. But like the other, here you go, you can have that. I'll take this. Thank you. It's like how Coda doesn't really like fries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll take her fries. She'll eat them, but like, yeah.
It's so funny to us. That would be my question to go around to the NHL players and be like, all right, sauce or no sauce? That's my first one. When we finally get big enough to ask questions to the NHLers.
That post is going around again of like people who like they do send you your funny TikToks and your funny like.
I would be like, all right, do you like sauce? Yes or no? And do you and your duo partner who eats the pickles?
Yeah, who eats the pickles?
And I'm telling you, if they both say, "Oh, I eat the pickles," then that's not a good duo. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
That's my stance. I'm sticking to it.
They might have something else. I would say, like for Sid and Gino, I don't know who eats the pickles in their friendship, but it's Gino, despite being from Russia, hates the cold. And Sid loves the cold. And Gino is more like, summer, please. I have a house in Florida.
Yeah.
So
it's so funny seeing like I just am so happy that this came out because it has made me love Connor McDavid even more. I can go on a tangent about that. That would be my penalty boxes. I could just go on.
Okay,
No.
No.
Please don't. You know, challenge overruled.
Coach's challenge. I didn't even call the penalty
challenge.
yet.
Nope, I'm All right, well that's gonna be it for that. We have. Oops, hang on. All right. All right. So today we are going into sportsmanlike conduct, and I'm going to spin the wheel. Let's see how we're going to get this week. I am a little nervous because let's see. Oh no. All right. Say. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. And on the count of 3, we are gonna say what we like about it at the same time.
Oh my god, you expect me to remember? Okay.
Yep, you ready? The team is the Flyers.
Gritty.
You didn't let me count to 3! Oh my god.
You want to do it again?
No, that's it. The Gritty is the correct answer for the Flyers. Oh my god.
Shelly said the same thing. She's like, I fucking hate the Flyers. And I was like, what about Gritty? And she's like, I love Gritty.
Yeah, Gritty doesn't count. All right, the Flyers, the best part about you is entirely your mascot. That man is, or that thing is so fucking
Eldritch
funny.
being hidden in,
Now, I don't know, do you know the lore of Gritty? Like, what is that?
Yeah, they found him. They found him in the, before I knew hockey. Oh, do you want some deep Saint lore?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I followed, hold on, I can't even remember her name, but she was the girlfriend of, she was a cosplayer who was dating someone in Rooster Teeth. And I followed her, and then they broke up, whatever, but I kept following her because she did cool cosplays.
Yeah.
And she's the one, or they, now, I don't know, whatever. They made the girl version of Gritty cosplay, like the full mascot suit with tits and everything.
Was it Jessica?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Hold on. I will very, very quickly look this up because, like, she did, like, the coolest fucking... It was, like, a full costume suit. Like, it was not just, like, oh, she put on an orange wig.
That's so funny.
Riot Rogers! That was it.
Who?
Riot Rogers?
Nope.
Okay, well, I knew Riot Rogers.
Okay.
But anyways, I knew nothing about hockey. And then she made Gritney.
Okay.
Which is what the name was.
Gritney.
And so everybody was like, who didn't know hockey was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And they were like, someone in Tumblr was like, no, listen. The NHL, this is all Tumblr lore, I don't know if any of it's true, was like, hey, you've gotta have a mascot. Like, you all have to have a mascot. And Philly was like, fuck you. And as Philly does.
Yeah.
And they made Gritty. And by made, I mean they maintain that that they dug too deep in Philadelphia and he was awoken from the depths of the earth. Like, that's his lore.
Philadelphia.
Like, that it is the most
Philadelphia thing of
Philadelphia thing. Yeah. Because
they could have done anything. Because Gritty, you know, to me, doesn't... When you say the Flyers, you don't think of a giant orange beast that's just chaos gremlin energy. But it is the most Philadelphia thing.
Yeah. So apparently, he was only launched in 2018.
Yeah,
is funny.
I remember when he was launched, but I didn't know the lore. I remember because I was like, this guy is bizarre. And I remember from what I remember, it was like, this is too weird. And now it's a classic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
he was just, it's just like, according to his official biography, Gritty emerged after construction at the Wells Fargo Center, the Flyers' home arena, disturbed his secret hideout. Within the months following his debut, Gritty became an internet sensation, made appearances on several talk shows, and he's been in like cartoons and stuff like that. But like, that's the lore. They dug too deep. In the Wells Fargo. He's an eldritch god or horror or whatever. It's so fucking funny. Fuck the Flyers as a Pens fan, but I love Gritty so much.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I know about the Philadelphia Flyers is their mascot. And I mean, that's notable because I don't know any of the other mascots. I don't know the Oilers. I don't know the Pens. I know it's a penguin.
Iceberg.
Sure. And
you don't know the Oilers mascot? It's a bobcat or a lynx or something like that.
I did know that. Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
I knew. Wait, who's engaged? Who got married? Wasn't it Iceberg and the Panther?
Oh my god, that's right.
Yeah, the Panthers is engaged. The Panthers mascot is like married to the Penguins mascot.
You know,
Iceberg. I'm pretty sure.
This brings up a great point that we did not get to hit in today's episode that we have to bring up before we close. The video of the fucking New Jersey Devils mascot running face first into the fucking glass. I don't even know what game it was, but I laughed hysterically. I will link it. It was so funny.
I cried, guys. And I didn't, because usually it's just like, haha, mascot fell in.
Yeah.
He fucking sent it, like, full tilt into the glass and then fell ass over tea kettle backwards.
And then had the audacity to go on Twitter and say there was a bug on the ice or on the fucking glass.
It was so fucking funny.
I love hockey. Hockey's so good.
Hockey's so fucking good. Oh my god.
God.
Funny.
All right, well, that's going to be it for today's episode. Folks, we really appreciate you listening in through all of our rants and ramblings. The Puck Witches podcast is released on Spotify and our YouTube channels. If you want, you can join into the Night Witches Discord via the link below to talk about the episodes directly, as well as enjoy our other channels, full of gaming, hobbies, and good vibes.
Sometimes we record these episodes live on Twitch, so make sure you're following us there, twitch.tv/SaintAstra. And if you want to support us with a Twitch Prime on either or both of our channels, you can get access to cute little emotes and extra channel points. If you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and follow us on Twitter for updates. And
lastly, do not forget to support the St. Astra Dry Settle Jersey Fund. Saint, how close are you getting? You're getting close, aren't you?
I think I'm only like... So with tax and shipping, it's like, I think I only need like an extra another $100
there
or
you
something
go.
like that. Like, you know.
We're getting there. We are making it happen.
Don't buy John Tavares shitty amulet. Spend $250 on me instead.
You can do that by checking out Saint's Etsy or again, subscribing on Twitch. We love you all and hope the hockey season is treating you well. It's Champ and Saint signing off.
Stay witchy!